What's the difference between the tin whistle and the recorder? Well, one major difference to me is the sound. Now, I have a little bit of a bias. I love the sound of the tin whistle. And it's a little bit unfair because every tin whistle and recorder are so different from one another that it's almost impossible to compare. But just in general, from the tin whistles and recorders I've listened to, I'll try and describe the difference in words to try and give a better idea of what the differences are. Words I would choose to describe the recorder are brassy, brash, reedy, English, sharp, fat. Words I would use to describe the tin whistle are sweet, breathy, soft, shrill, wistful, Irish, thin. These are not absolutes. As I've said, the player or the recorder itself or the tin whistle can make a huge difference in the sound. Thus far, my favorite out of the two is the tin whistle. Comment below and share a YouTube video of someone who really is a master of the recorder or the tin whistle and shows the power of your favorite instrument out of the two. The most important differences, let's talk about first. So the recorder has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 holes. So there's a hole on the back for your thumb. While the tin whistle has no hole on the back and 6 holes down the front. So there's more holes in the recorder, big deal. Well, this actually is probably the biggest difference between the recorder and the tin whistle. The recorder is a chromatic instrument, while the tin whistle is a diatonic. Chromatic simply means that it can play all 12 notes. It's designed to play all 12 notes. Diatonic means that this tin whistle is built to play one scale. And in this case, this is a D tin whistle, which means that it is designed to play all the notes in the D major scale. Now, a little bit of a side note, does that mean that that's it? You can only play 7 notes on the tin whistle? Well, actually, no. So, for example, I'll play you the D major scale. That's a D major scale, which means it has a C sharp, but there's actually an alternate fingering for a C. With that one note difference, that unlocks the G major scale. So already there's 2 scales that the tin whistle can play. And beyond that, there are some other alternate fingerings and some techniques that you can use with the tin whistle to get additional notes. So I'll play that C again, except instead of this alternate fingering, I'm going to half cover this top hole. I'm not very good at it. It's actually pretty difficult to play, especially smoothly in a song. So that means that actually the tin whistle can also play all 12 notes of the scale, but it is still considered a diatonic instrument, and it still means that tin whistlers often have many different whistles that they will choose because it's much easier to play in the key that the tin whistle was designed for. So in summary, it's easier to play all 12 notes of the scale with the recorder than the tin whistle. Let's talk about some other obvious differences. Now, as you can see from these two, the mouthpiece on the recorder is massive in compared to the tin whistle. And this is not true for all tin whistles and recorders because they're all so different. But in general, it seems to be the case where the recorder has a bigger mouthpiece than the tin whistle. As far as materials go, for the most part, it seems that recorders are found in plastic or wood, and I'm sure there's exceptions. For tin whistles, these are often made of brass or aluminum, and go figure, tin, not as much as brass though. And sometimes you can find these in wood or in plastic, but they're still called a tin whistle. That's just how it is. Those are some big differences, but there's actually quite a lot of similarities. They're both fipple flutes. The mouthpiece is called a fipple, and they also come in many different forms. You may think that this is representative of all tin whistles and recorders, but it's not the case. There's many different sizes of tin whistle or recorder. For example, there are low D whistles that are much longer that can play, a lot lower, and there are bass recorders. There's all sorts of different designs out there. Also, one huge similarity between the tin whistle and the recorder, and perhaps one of my favorite things, is that they're extremely cost effective. Both of those instruments that I have together probably cost less than $15. And it's amazing because you can really make some amazing music with either the recorder or the tin whistle. And so this is really a great instrument for those who are trying to get into music, period, who, maybe they haven't picked up an instrument before and they don't want to spend a lot of money. Well, you can play a recorder or a tin whistle, and those are actually, workable quality instruments. It's not like some instruments like guitar. If you buy a super cheap guitar, you're going to regret it and it's going to be a horrible experience. These tin whistles and recorders are relatively simple instruments, and so they're very cost effective. So that's the differences and a couple similarities. I'm going to end with a quick demonstration of the sound of both the tin whistle and the recorder. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be learning a lot about several different instruments, and I'm going to be sharing those lessons learned here. I should note that I haven't really learned to play the recorder yet. I don't know the fingerings just yet, but I at least can demonstrate the sound. Hope that was helpful in your quest to decide between the recorder and the tin whistle. Thanks for watching.